Hi guys, this is our SICI class 3. Now think about it, like we have already understood how the compound interest works and everything. So today we will do some questions based on compound interest, simple interest together. This is our third class in SICI. After that we will go with the other chapters as well. We'll go with average, mixture allegation, time and work, all of these things we'll do. And this is a continuation playlist, and trust me, if you do this thing, your algebra will be sorted. Trust me on this. So let's start discussing some question today, because today our major objective is to go with questions. So let's go with the first question. Like a bacterium, you can read the question. A bacterium divided into 2 bacteria every minute. If it was put in a tumbler and the tumbler got half full in 20,000, like 209,876 minutes, then when would the tumbler be completely full? Now think about it. In the tumbler, the bacteria is getting doubled in every minute. मतलब first अगर 1 था, then ये कितना हो गया? 2 हो गया. Again, if it is 2, then it has become 4. So it goes on like this. So it is 1, then it 2 हो गया, फिर 3, 4 हो गया, है ना? For every minute, it is basically getting doubled. So you need to understand, like it is getting doubled in every minute. Now let's say in particular n minute, it is half filled. Like it is half of the tumbler, half filled. Now in the n plus 1 minute, this half will be doubled into 2, so it will become 1, right? So that means, so if the tumbler got half full in 29,786 minutes or whatever n minutes, in n plus 1 minutes, it will become double. Do you understand, right? So it become half full in this minute, right? So think about it like this way. So it is 1, in the first thing it is 1, next it is 2, next it is 4, and the tumbler got half full, like the bacteria divided into 2 bacteria. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8. So it is dividing. So in the first minute it is 1, in the second minute it is 2, in the third minute it is 4, in the fourth minute it is 8. You understand how it is happening? So it is basically expanding like this. So let's say if the nth meeting it is x by 2, then in n plus 1th minute it has to be n by 2 into 2, that is the entire n. Yes or no? If I say like this, आधा था टम्बलर का, फुल हो जाएगा n plus 1th minute में. Yes or no? If it is 209,876 minutes, if it is half filled, in the next minute what will happen? It will become double. So if it will become double, in the next minute the tumbler will be completely full. So your answer is 209,877. So in this number of minutes, the tumbler will be completely full. So you have to understand this thing. So this is like a very generic kind of question. It's a very interesting question also. That's why we call it mind bender. So where you need to use your thought process. It's not a direct question on SICI, but it is a concept of SICI only, especially CI. So let's go for the next question then. What will be the CI on rupees 2,000 for 3 years at 10% per annum? Now a CI for this, so one thing you need to understand, so I can use successive also. So in case of successive, that is 10 plus 10 plus 10 into 10 upon 100. So in 2 years it is 21%. In 2 years it is 21%, right? So in 3 years it is 21 plus 10 plus 21 into 10 upon 100, which is 33.1%. Now think about it, it is 33.1%, but my amount is 2,000, right? So in 100 is 33.1%. So in 2,000 it must be 2,000 into 33.1 upon 100. So your answer is 662. So 662 will be the answer, and hence that is option A. So you understand how we can solve this type of questions very fast by using successive. This question can be solved by using formula as well. The formula is P into 1 plus R upon 100 to the power 3 minus P. That is like the compound interest. So in this case it would have been 2000 into 1 plus 10 upon 100 whole cube minus 2000. If you solve it, you'll also get 666, but I'm generally avoiding this kind of cubic equations and this kind of cubes, because this takes a little bit of more time and using successive takes a little bit of less time. That's why I always prefer something where we do not use a lot of things like that, right? So let's go for the next one. So the next question, if you see, like CI for a certain sum for 2 years at 2% per annum is 2020 CI. What is the principal? Now 2% per annum is there. So think about in 2 years, I'm again using the successive, right? So if the successive is there, the formula is m plus n plus mn upon 100. Yes or no? So in successive, if I use, that is 2 plus 2 plus 2 into 2 upon 100, which is nothing but 4.04. So the interest in 2 years is 4.04%, right? Now what is your actual interest? 2020. So can I write 4.04 in how many? In what amount? In 100 rupees, right? So for 1, that is 100 upon 4.04, and for 2020, that is 100 upon 4.04 into 2020. So if I cancel this, I'll multiply 100 here. So 404, that is like 5 exactly. So your answer is 50,000. So 50,000 is your answer. So the actual principal amount, it has been 50,000, right? This is the principal amount, it's 50,000, and that is the actual principal amount what he started with. So this kind of question, you can see these are the direct like application of compound interest. Let's go for some other question as well. A sum at compound interest becomes 3 times of itself after 5 years. Sum at compound interest becomes 3 times of itself after 5 years. After how many years it will become 27 times of itself? Now this question you need to understand in a better way, obviously. So 3 times, if you just use the formula, first I'm just giving you the formula and I can try to use the formula to solve this question. So sum is basically P into 1 plus R upon 100 to the power 3 times, to the power 5, to the power 5 is equal to 3P, because it becomes 3 times of itself after 5 years. So now if I cancel P and P, so this 1 plus R upon 100 to the power 5 is equal to 3. Can I write this? Yes. But what I need to find 27 times. 27 is nothing but 3 cube. So if I need to make it 3 cube, so I just do cube here and I'm doing again cube here. So I can write 1 plus R upon 100 to the power 15 is equal to 27. Now multiply P in both sides. So this is 27P. So I can say in 15 years it will become 27P. So I'm just using the formula to solve this question. You can see how easy it is. So what I did, I just cancelled PP, and I know 27 is 3 cubes, so I do whole cube in both sides and I find the answer. In 15 years it becomes 27 times. This is one way to solve this question. There is so many other ways to solve this question also, just check. Now the second way to solve this question, 3 times, let's say P, so let's say P becomes 3P in how many years? 5 years. Now 3P will also become thrice of 3P, that is 9P in 5 years. And 9P also become thrice of 9P, that is 27P in again 5 years. So what is the total number of years? 15. Hence your answer is 15. In that way also you can solve this type of question. You don't need to use that formula. You can use directly this way to solve this question as well. Remember, very important. The next thing, we can also use another method also. Now think about this question in this way. Think about in a little bit different light. Think about it in, let's say the money becomes, now I'm giving you a shortcut. M times, what I'm telling you, just remember carefully. M times in compound interest in n years. Kitna saal mein? N years. It becomes M times in n years. So it will become M to the power k times in n into k years. Remember, if it becomes m times in n years, it will become m to the power k times in nk years. Example, यहाँ पे m कितना था? 3 times. So it is 3 times in 5 years. So it will be 3 cube times in 5 into 3, that is 15 years. And see, your answer has also 15. So this is the 3 ways you can solve it. Last one is like the shortcut. It is the shortest way to solve this type of question. So that's why I'm making you understand like all different type of solutions where you can do these things directly. So I hope you are understanding how exactly we are trying to solve this particular types of question. The CI on a certain principle in second year is 420 and in third year is 462. What is the rate of interest? The easiest way to solve this thing is basically, think about it, in 2 years the CI is 420. 2 years mein CI, sorry, not 2 years, it is second year, let's say second year it is 420 and in third year it is 462, right? So if it is simple interest, it would have been same in second or third. Now the increment, this 42 increase is basically interest of interest. And what is the interest? 420. So this 42 is nothing but the interest on 420. So if the 42 is interest on 420, what is the interest percentage? 42 upon 420 into 100, which is 10%. This is how we can do it logically. Do you understand it? Second year the interest is 420, third year it is 462. Here the difference of these two amount is basically 42, and this difference is interest, because interest is going to the principal amount. So this 42 is the interest of 1 year of 420. So what is the percentage? 42 upon 420 into 100. That is 10%. This is one way to solve this question. Now there is a formula also to solve this type of question, because CI after n plus 1th year, CI at, let's say, at n plus 1th year upon CI at nth year, CI at n plus 1th year upon CI at nth year is 1 plus R upon 100. Okay, so I can say now 462 upon 420 is 1 plus R upon 100. So R upon 100 is 462 by 420 minus 1, which is 462 minus 420, I'm sorry, 462 minus 420 upon 420, which is 42 upon 420, right, which is 1 upon 10. So what is R? That is 100 upon 10. Your answer is 10%. So in this way also you can solve this question. So here I am using the formula directly, and in the previous way I am using the shortcut to solve this question. A sum was lent at a certain rate of compound interest. It amounted to rupees 12,000 at the end of 3 years and rupees 18,000 at the end of 6 years. Find the sum. So it is amounted to 12,000 at the end of 3 years and amounted to rupees 18,000 at the end of 6 years. So the sum is lented at compound interest. So now think about it in this way. If I use the formula, this is P into 1 plus R upon 100 whole cube is equal to 12,000, right? So sum was lent at a compound interest, it amounted to 12,000 at the end of 3 years, and P into 1 plus R upon 100 to the power 6 is equal to 18,000, right? So you need to find what? You need to find the sum exactly. Now the easiest way to solve this question, divide this by this. So if I divide this by this, so what I'll get? This is 12,000. So I'll get, so this PP gets cancelled out, and if I solve this, so I'll get 1 plus R upon 100 cube is 3 upon 2, right? Now use this thing here. So I can write P into 3 upon 2 is equal to 12,000. So what is P? That is 12,000 into 2 upon 3, which is nothing but 8,000. So what is your answer? 8,000 straight 8,000. So I hope you have understood this question. Now this question can be solved in another way also. Okay, this is like how I use it with the formula. Now if I don't want to use the formula, how can I solve this question? Just check this. Now if I don't need to use the formula, what I'll do for this question, I'll use it like this. I'll tell you like 12,000 in 3 years, in 3 years it becomes 3 by 2 times. In 3 years the amount will become 18,000 by 12,000, which is 3 by 2 times. Yes or no? In 3 years it will become 3 by 2 times. Yes. So if the initial amount is P, then P into 3 by 2 has to be also 12,000, because agar P tha, again 3 years mein it will become 12,000. Yes or no? So what is P? 12,000 into 2 upon 3, which is also 8,000. So by using logic also you can solve this type of question. So this is how simple like this. So you just need to use the logic properly to execute the question in a right place, and that is how exactly we solve questions like this way. Asif invested rupees 4,000 for 3 years, interest being compounded annually. If the rate of interest is 4, 5 and 6% for first year, second year and third year respectively, find total interest interest earned by Asif. So this kind of question can be solved by using successive also. So see how we can solve this question. Like there is two ways to solve this question. One is by using formula, another one by using successive. If I'm going to using successive, the solution is first I do 4 and 5, that is 4 plus 5 plus, or I can do 4 and 6 also, because 4 and 6 will give me the easier one to solve. So 4 into 5 upon 100, which is 9.2, which is 9.2. Next it is 9.2 plus 6, 9.2 plus 6 plus 9.2 into 6 upon 100. So that will give you 3 years interest, straight and simple. So this is 9.2 plus 6, that is 15.2, and this is 9.2 into 6, that is 954, that is 50, 5.2, that is 5.2, that is 0.552. So your answer is 15.752% on an average. So in case of 40,000, what is the interest that can be earned? That is 40,000 into 15.752 upon 100, right? So if you do it directly, like if you do it in percentage also in something like that, so your answer is like, now when you need to solve this thing after this, so you just need to do 40,000 to 15%, which is 6,000. 40,000 to 15% is 6,000, plus it is 0.75%, let's say. So what is 1% of 40,000? 1% of 40,000 is 400, and what is 0.75%? That is into 3 upon 4. So the answer is something around 6,300 approximately. So this will be your answer. Approximately 6,300 is his actual interest that is earned by Asif. Now if the question, I can solve it with the formula as well. If I use the formula, then the answer is 40,000 into 1 plus 4 upon 100 into 1 plus 5 upon 100 into 1 plus 6 upon 100 minus 40,000. But this is a much more difficult process to solve this question, trust me. So that's why I use the previous method, that is easier method to solve questions, and that gives you a better understanding as well. What would be the interest earned if a person invests rupees 20,000 at 40% per annum for 1 year, when interest is compounded twice a year or half yearly, when interest is compounded 4 times a year or quarterly? Now interest rate earned if a person invests 20,000 at 40% per annum for 1 year. Compounded interest twice a year, half yearly. So if it is twice a year, I have already told you how we can solve twice a year by using successive, that is 20% and 20%, right? So 20% and 20% is 20 plus 20 plus 20 into 20 upon 100. So this is 44. So the 44%, it is like the actual interest rate if it is calculated half yearly. Now what is the interest of 44% of 20,000? So 20,000 into 44 upon 100. So your answer is 0 get cancelled out. So 88. So 8800. So your answer is 8,800 is the amount. So I have that solved just by using the successive formula only. Now if there is the second question, which is 4 times. Now 4 times means it's like 10% in quarter. It's 10% in quarter. So 40 will be divided by 4, which is 10. Now what I will do, I will do 10 plus 10 plus 10 into 10 upon 100. So how much it is? 21. Next I will do again 21 and 21. 21 plus 21 plus 21 into 21 upon 100, which is 46.41. Now 46.41% is actually the interest now. So what is my answer? The answer is now 20,000 into 46.41%, right? Now 0 cancelled out, and this also cancelled out. So your answer is 46 is like 92. So it is 9282, assuming my calculations are correct.